Brock instead. I think they were. They were probably thinking the Ruby was going to go XP and then the Grok would go Roam, or vice versa. We have seen that in other tournaments recently. So if I'm Omega, go ahead and pick up your jungler now. You can save your EXP potential Roam. Again, that could still be a flex Ruby for later.
That could still be a good hold. That could be a good option for Smart Omega. Good thing they pointed that out, because right now they need to have this balance on how to even protect this Harith for having a good amount of dance in team fights.
That's what you call information economy.
Yeah.
You allow for your opponent to keep guessing, even if it's
Yeah.
safe to pick up the jungler anyways. That's exactly what you do, because you keep them on their toes up to the very last pick. One of the few strengths Red Side has.
Yeah.
Info eco.
And the fact that you have they're going to go to Tigreal, so it's going to be an
Exactly.
XP lane Ruby.
Oh.
The thing here, though, is
Oh.
RSG would be more inclined to pick up something like Brody Bruno, someone with those chunky but not too fast attack speed type of gold laners, because they don't really have the backline access for Omega for them. So then it's going to be a lot of room. They just need a much tankier EXP laner as well. But catch on the Harith is quite lacking. I'd want to see them with an EXP laner with a bit more control. They can go petrify Yu Zhong if they feel like it.
Or how about a Lapu?
Lapu, quite difficult to land the Land Shaker.
He'll be
with
chasing.
it. He'll be chasing, yeah.
It'll be a very reactive play style. So I'm wondering what Nibor brings to the table, because again, it's a relatively blank slate for me. Tabula Rasa, I have very mid expectations. I don't want to put too much on the young man's shoulders. There it is. The glue.
Yeah,
A better
the Bruno
option.
Too, but then the glue is, I wish I mentioned it, because we saw it in other tournaments as well, where up against a Harith and you don't really want to go for a diving EXP laner. You need a little bit more control. You pick up the glue to help control all the zones that the Harith can dash through.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
But Omega with a high loss.
Hold up. Hold up.
Okay.
Jungle Hylos?
It looks like it, yeah.
That is a quick way to clear a jungle if they're going to go with that route.
They are playing with a box, man. This is the biggest box I've seen in a while. Since the days of M4, with Echo rocking the Eve, rocking the... Oh, come on, man. You got the Glorious Pathway, you got the Zaman Force,
Yeah.
you got the Implosion. This is where we fight.
Yeah, this is where you fight, and really Omega is gonna try to invade. It looks like if Omega gets their way, RSG won't even be able to properly farm or rotate until maybe like 3 or 4 jungle spawns later.
Okay, so there's a lot of difficulty in that kind of like growing lineup what we see with the Hylos. A debut pick again for this season, and as well as a great way to answer for this kind of lineup that Omega wants to do with RSG. This is their first match. We're about to see how their strength, how their identity was plant on their first day in MPL Season 13. Let's see how this goes. I want to know where this Hylos is going, and he's going to the jungle.
Yep, definitely gonna be there. Let's see what happens. You see there the Tigreal already getting information for Omega, and now it's gonna be slow. No clear invades just yet. The first invade might actually happen around the first turtle.
Good control as well. So this is probably just the vision game that Light has an advantage against this Tigreal. This is the one thing that you need to do as a Tigreal. How will you actually have that perfect check bush or give vision? Because that was the thing that they wanted to answer. Light has more advantage in getting vision in early game.
Yep, also has solid re-engage. Again, the motivation roar helps keep them going. Minotaur doesn't need mana.
Yeah, and now as we look at our emblems, I really want to see what the Hylos is on. Toughness, of course. Electro Flash, interesting, but then a bit more movement speed there as well. The glue going for the basic common emblems and just going for the 2 feet, so he wants to be able to rotate quickly as well, which is why I feel like RSG are already expecting a lot of invades and a lot of aggression in the jungle coming in from Omega.
I think this is the advantage also about how Leo pointed out that the Ruby could actually be viable as a roam pick, and you're up against a glue. This is what you struggle with.
DK and Kusei pushing back west, putting him at half health. You're seeing now in play the new adjustment in the patch. 35% now, the damage reduction underneath tier 1 gold.
Yeah. So RG will have to be more calculated if they want to go for those ganks there. We have to really watch out for here is what happens after this first turtle. Because I feel like whoever gets it, if RG gets it, they'll back off. If Omega gets it, they're invading.
All right, here we go. The first turtle of the game. Matt out of mana. Turtle at a 10th of its health. Demon Guy coming for the steal. Matt secures.
completely. Omega takes the first objective.
Yeah.
That was a quick one, I say.
Yeah, and Omega made the right call there. The timers on the purple buff wasn't quite close enough to go for an invade. If they forced an invade, it would have been quite costly there for Omega, so they backed off and just go for slow rotation. So slow and steady is what's happening here so far, but we also have to watch out potentially if Light and Marked, along with their mid laners, will try to pull the trigger on a surprise play and pick off.
Well, speaking of surprise play and pickoffs, this is the advantage maybe of having the Hylos in team fights. Combine the power of movement speeds a lot for Smart Omega right now is an advantage such as this. Another visit though.
Here we go. Matt gets caught in that little corridor, dropping the ult
Ooh.
already. Demon Kite backing out, knocking Nibor up. Split away. No dice.
Marked used that flicker. Was trying to get something now, but kind of missed the chance.
Yeah, Demon Kai was able to dash away just in time. Out of trouble.
One more time. Minoan Fury knocking up Matt.
Woo!
And that last jump in, the desperation stomp, securing that kill.
Aqua for the first blood. RSG now just with in-time responses against Omega's early game visits.
That's what to expect when it's a slow start. It's going to be up to the roamers and with their mid laners to find an opportunity. Light and Aqua. That big Minoan Fury coming in from Light, starting things off here for RSG. So now let's see who will be going into the first major rotation in the gold lane to disrupt. It's RSG to try and disrupt West. Yes, you need to stop the Harith, or at least make it uncomfortable for him to farm up.
Yep, pressure on the gold lane. Probably putting more weight on West here.
Yeah.
Didn't get any kills yet, but this is just completely RSG doing their work.
Yeah, Aqua's first item, actually, the glowing wand. He needed to build that, considering that he's up against really tanky presences there, tanky front line, and that's a trend that we've been seeing lately. Glowing wand, sort of like the magic demon hunter sword to pick up.
Well, speaking of which, second objective is up. Matt on low mana. Nibor in the position. But I love where Kusei's Demon Guy is heading right now. Look
And
like it's about to
here's the
start.
collapse. The glorious pathway keeping him
Whoa.
up. The EG dropping him. One more Minoan Fury. It's like a jumpy house up in here. 2 down for Omega. And RSG go for the turn. Taking down Ryle. Lewis walking away. Ryle survives via the black shoes. Run, Ryle, run. Another jump in by Light. Down goes Ryle.
Whoa.
Demon Kite finds one in the back. Kusei secures underneath tier 2. Just like that. The Raiders find more.
The main difference between the two mid laners, Aqua has a great control ability in that knockup. The Lilia, not so much. And you saw there how the Eternal Guard entry messed up the team fighting of Omega and helped set up all the burst coming out of Demon Kite. Aqua himself, the Minoan Fury, and even Nibor with a really great gank as the glue.
My goodness, crowd control. This is RSG Task Force Overload Barangay Omega. How will you use it at the right moments on those kinds of team fights?
OMG right now are super Purify reliant. Like, they super need the Purify to get out of anything. And now I think they have to accept the fact that they're going to play on the defense until they're ready, until there's farm on West.
Let's see if Omega, they don't really have the best poke from their main damage dealer in the Harith. So a lot of the pressure for the clear and the management will come from the hands of Ryle. Omega need to find a way to slow things down so that they can get a bit of farm. But Demon Kite aggressive!
Whoa! My goodness!
Oh, I didn't expect Demon Kite would get the kill there. Black Shoes popped off, but Fracture just in time.
Well, look at the damage, and then he just got the Blade of Heptasis. That moment he got that kill.
Yep. And now RSG going to force the issue, take down gold lane tier 1, and close the gap. They're going to starve Omega starting now.
And no turrets, not even the damage from all lanes from RSG.
It's going to be really tough for Omega here. This might even triggering a surprise play might come in costly. They don't have like the burst damage just yet. The burst is on the side of RSG. If Omega picks someone off, it's going to be a 50-50. They're not even going to be sure if they're going to be able to land a kill.
And another objective for RSG. As quick as it is, another turtle for this one. The lanes right now is just the problem of Omega.
West
Salmon
drops
Force.
Salmon Force. West obliges.
Wow.
Picks a fight. Nibor holding out for his ult. And just like that, OMG are cordoned off. They can't even cross tier 2 threshold, man. Even Mark is struggling to fight against Nibor here. And there's a bush held by Omega. They're all thinking about it, and they all say, no, we can't take this fight. Not 7 minutes in, not 5K down.
Yeah, the front line of RSG right now is tanky, and it just soaks a lot of damage being pulled in the turret.
I'm offended, says Lewis, feeding a kill over the West. They're not going to be able to defend tier 2 up top. But just like that, a little bit of breathing room. They get a shutdown, they get a kill. But what does Omega do with that?
Well, let's see if they can get some room now that the glue isn't there, but it'll be back really quickly. Again, they'll just be stuck in their side of the river. The funny thing about the Omega lineup, it's countered by one item on the hands of Nibor, and that is the Radiant Armor. The point I made earlier about Omega lacking burst damage, well, they made a smart play. They saw the glue and they brought him under the turret, who deals sort of burst damage, I guess, after like 2 more hits.
It's true damage at that
It's true
point.
damage at that point. So Omega made a good play, but if they do that in the middle of the jungle or anywhere else, it's not going to work out that well for them.
Well, speaking of not working out, Omega needs more of the objectives rather than team fights. Answering all RSG's breadcrumbs is just a big of a problem. Even to stick on the damage of West, still a trouble part of the marksman of Omega.
Yeah, with 8.5 minutes in, 10 seconds until the next Lord. Even Matt's struggling to keep his orange, right?
Yeah.
An EG dropped here. Nibor down to a third of his health, forced out a split. RSG making a beeline for the Lord. Gentlemen, I'm getting flashbacks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the opening weeks of MPL Philippines Season 7, Smart Omega also rocked a lineup very similar. It was very, very magic heavy, and
Yes.
it only worked up to a certain point. And now, as we take a trip back memory lane, forcing out a glorious pathway to stop the forward surge of RSG.
And just as that, another objective taken by RSG. Ultimates being used as a resource for fallbacks and retreat for Omega. Not looking good for the Barangay's first match against RSG.
Yeah, we have to check the items, and the Lilia still not going to be enough here. They need more damage output from the Lilia especially, because alongside the Harith, up until the Harith gets the third item, is going to be the Lilia helping ease things up. But as the game goes on, RSG will start to feel the damage of Omega, even though they'll have Radiant Armors, maybe even BFBs, and other magic damage reduction items. Yeah, it's still going to be felt, but the question is, can Omega drag it on for that long?
Oh no, down bottom. Demon Kai's in trouble. Lewis and Mark couldn't finish the job.
See, we'll still get away.
Yeah, still, ultimates used though. That's just how quick Demon Kite can escape though. Tower up top action!
Here's the ult from Matt. Glorious pathway set in the knock-up. Nibor looking for one.
Oh!
Eternal Guard taking down the big Centaur. And they're down a man. Zaman Force dropped in by West. And they're trying to keep this turret. Not gonna do. Aqua takes it down. And just like that, RSG, like sharks in the water, swirling around the barangay, moves on to their next target. Mid lane inhibitor. Bottom lane, tier 2 taken down by DK. RSG, slowly but surely, taking a throwback. This is Death Ball at its finest.
They can't go out even. Omega's looking for it to hold even in their own base. Turret being taken down as well. Last one standing down bottom.
Yeah, textbook and fundamental RSG is just what we're seeing right now. Everyone knows exactly what they need to do. I really want to commend Nibor here. The biggest question mark heading into this game for RSGPH, but he's doing his job really well. He's helping Light get vision. He's staying aggressive. He knows sometime in some positionings, he's the primary roamer and vision getter, and that's exactly what he's been doing. As members of Omega try to take him down, they're just getting information, then Light will come in with a good Minoan Fury. Comparing, look at that, 5,000 gold deficit, close to it, between the two junglers, just to prove how hungry RSG has been.
Oh, Nibor forced out the glorious pathway out of Matt. He got
Oh,
Grab,
Nibor!
grab. Where's he taking him? How far? Not enough damage. Matt able to retreat into his base. No inhibitors withstanding though, so not as well of a punish potential. Look at how deep West is. What's he doing down there?
He's trying to clear out some
Oh no,
waves.
oh no,
Oh,
oh,
oh.
he spots Demon Kite. Can he pick this fight? There's a Zaman Force. DK trying to time it out.
Uh-oh.
Mark taking this bush, trying to protect him.
Cavalry's
West
here.
gets spotted
Oh.
by Light and Kusei.
Oh.
Down West goes. The Demon strikes.
Looked like a bit of a miscalculation there by West. I feel like he could have gotten that recall off. He decided to cancel it, wait, see what he could get, and then RSG just quickly responded. Omega At this point, you can just stare and watch. No contest for this Lord. Again, the comeback's just going to come from making the most out of an RSG error, or somehow Lewis and Mark chaining the members of RSG under the base, getting help from the damage of the base, and hoping that West and Ryle have the items to burst down the members of RSG.
Items and another objective for RSG, quickly melting it like butter on a corn sundae.
Oh no.
RSG.
What? What?
Yeah, this is what I do on the afternoons.
What's a corn sundae?
You have the char-broiled corn and butter.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant.
Yep, and this is just the damage of RSG showing up to the barangay. A difficult situation here, Leo.
But the worst is yet to come. There's still a massive enhanced Lord marching down through mid. And the best that Omega can do is hope that they keep all of their base. That's it. I'm sure they're going to lose his inhibitor down bottom. And then this fight may be the last. Here we go. Lord marching in. Omega dropping the damage, pulling it over to the side. Going
Oh.
that way from Matt. They
Whoa.
come in crashing. They come in jumping.
Whoa.
Domino and Fury. Spent up already. Cancelled. Matt very low. Nibor gets the grab, pulling him over. Ryle goes down. The base in jeopardy. Nibor goes down. And just like that, the Raiders take game one.
Starting the day strong with a clean game. RSG Philippines. Wow, that's just showing a lot of potential. Dana, we were talking about chemistry check on how these players actually work. That Demon Kite and Aqua giving a high five with just one another like, hey man, we still got this.
Gentlemen, is this the fastest game so far?
So far this season, yes.
Yes.
Sub 11 minutes, around 10:30, 10:40.
It wasn't enhanced Lord, so I'd say it was sub 15.
Sub 15. Okay.
Very fast though still.